The trading card game project DCG, or Dudsta's card game, has been worked on for multiple years by myself, Dudsta, and has been on an indefinite hiatus due to mental health concerns and real-life circumstances. As of the 7th of June, 2025, circumstances have changed and the availability to work on DCG has opened up. This video is to announce this new step towards the completion of DCG is the first of many. This project is set to complete some new goals before proceeding to further ventures, for example, official releases, mass production, organized play, and more. Project ReRun does not have a deadline, but will always be the current variation of DCG unless announced otherwise in the future. The following goals are not in any particular order. 1. Create a mechanically finished version of DCG. 2. Publish a rulebook for DCG and keep it updated when necessary. 3. Offer multiple ways to playtest DCG throughout the project's timeline. 4. Host showcases, panels, and small playtests at shows, festivals, local game stores, and more. 5. Make the DCG Discord server the main place for the community to come together. 6. Get DCG to a point of being ready for crowdfunding. Alright, we're doing good. The following are updates coming to DCG within Project ReRun. These changes are, as of recording this video, in early stages and may change at any time in the future. 1. Combat. Combat in DCG no longer requires dice rolls for damage. From now on, all leaders and companions in DCG have an attack stat, which is used to show how much damage it will deal. Combat will now function differently for the purposes of dealing damage. When attacking, both the attacker and the target of the attack deal damage to each other. 2. SCT, Standardized Card Text. All cards in DCG, from now on, will follow a systematic approach to understandable card text, which will be known as Standardized Card Text. SCT will also have documentation in the future for public use, which may include a portion or portions of future rulebooks. 3. Removal of the synth mechanic. The synth mechanic, introduced in a previous version of DCG, will be on an indefinite pause. All current synth and synth leader cards will no longer be given updates. Any decks, strategies, or individual cards that interact with the synth mechanic will be updated with new text to reflect this. 4. HP changes. Due to the new combat system talked about prior, HP changes may occur frequently for a period of time for balancing purposes. 5. Discord server updates. New community tabs will be created for each archetype in DCG. All content will be in collapsible tabs for ease of accessing other parts of the server. A Looking for Games role and channel or channels will be implemented in the future when a public test is available. So, this is it. I'm back, hard at work again. After a year since I last worked on DCG, I believe. Well, thankfully now it's time to change things up a bit. I'm really happy to get back into work, and I'm personally proud of the updates and changes that have already come out of Project ReRun. The changes that have already happened have been, off the books. I've deliberately been keeping them under wraps as much as I can, just because I want enough changes to be done to make sense for this big announcement. Hence why it's all happening in one go. Public playtesting never truly happened for the previous version of DCG, so I'm not too upset with taking this step, but I do still think this step is extremely necessary. Anyway, let's get into some questions. Why come back now? I honestly have a lot of reasons as to why I want to come back, and a big reason is because this game hasn't really left my heart ever since the last break I took. I hope to, from now on, continue this streak of working on the project and take this project to a point I can actually be proud of, and obviously also finally get it to the general public's hands. Like, that's also another big important thing for me, because I was never able to truly take those steps beforehand in previous versions of DCG for a plethora of reasons. But hopefully this will be the time we get this done. Plans for the future currently. Currently, the only endpoint goal is to get the game to a more playable state for a larger scale playtest and finally start building up the community. I'll also be taking some time in the back end to look into getting physical product printed. That's going to be quite difficult, potentially quite expensive, so don't expect stuff like that anytime soon. Most of the time it will be proxies. I'm hoping art gets done in the future, which we do still have some artists that are on board to work on this game. Just have to get back into contact with them, because obviously it's been a while since the project's actually been worked on or talked about. So please keep in mind it might just take a while for some of these dreams and goals to be attained. Hopefully we'll get there. I believe we'll get there. It's just a matter of when is always going to be up in the air. When does testing commence? Closed testing occurs indefinitely. I always get friends around online or in person to try the game out. That's not changing at all. What is changing is when the general public can try the game out. As of right now, I can't really give a date as to when the first public testing period will be, but updates on that will be posted on social media. But outside of that, it'll especially be posted in the Discord server, which will be linked down below as well. And if you're on Twitch, use !Discord. Are there still going to be question for today polls? Absolutely. There will absolutely still be polls running pretty frequently on the server. This game is for everyone after all, so making sure that everyone enjoys DCG is a big goal for me. I will still be tagging everyone regardless. Sorry, not sorry. Which archetype are you introducing next? That's actually down to the community. It's always been that way, and it will still be that way. I'll be running a poll via Google Forms this time, for which to figure out which one to introduce next. The community's voice is most important to me, always, and it's never been more of a case than times like this. The options I will elaborate now are Lionheart, Spellsworn, Scythists, Cure, and Business Inc. Co. That one's got a bit of background context that not a lot of people are going to know. It was previously known as Deadly Business. There's a reason why I changed the name. If you go read the Google Forms, it'll elaborate on what the name really means. Each choice has one card available for viewing on the Google Form, with a short description before the poll part. This will hopefully help detail how the decks will function, or how the archetypes themselves will just play out. I'll have the poll run for a couple weeks. Here I have it written down for 2 weeks. Might be extended, might be shortened, depends on the amount of responses we get. Alright, off the script this time. Thank you very much to every single one of you for sticking around. Thank you to all the new people that tune in and keep an eye on this game. I appreciate it. But no, seriously, thank you very much to everyone that's been with me on this journey, even through all the gaps I've made, even through all of the mental health crashes I've had, even through all the big changes I've done. And I promise to do my darndest this time. I can't believe I said that. I'm sticking with it. I'm going to do my absolute best to provide the best game I can provide to not only everyone, but also myself especially. I'm so proud of how far I've gone, and I want to keep going. I don't want to stop, obviously. With all that out the way, thank you very much to everyone that's tuned in. I appreciate you all. If you haven't ducked into the stream yet, do it now. You might as well do it, you know? I'm there. I'm still... Yup. With everything said and done, thank you for tuning in, and I will see you next time.